Welcome back to Sumayya's English Classroom. In the first part, we were talking about Anne and the historical background of Anne Frank, and we have seen her relationship with her grandmother, and we have seen her amazing family members. Also, we have seen her true friend Kitty. In the second part, let's see her relationship with her maths teacher, Mr. Kissing. It's really interesting and funny account. Okay, here you can relate yourself to Anne. Okay, how was Anne in her class? Okay, how naughty she was. Let's see in this video. Now I know that all of you are missing your school days, especially your naughty activities in your classroom, right? Here you can relate to Anne. Here we are going to see the classroom of Anne. How was she in the classroom? What about her friends in the classroom? All of them were eagerly waiting for the result. Okay, so they were making bets, quaking in the boots in the beginning. Okay, that means they were very nervous and anxiously waiting for their result. Okay, so they were making bets. Okay, some boys are there. They were making bets. You will pass. I will pass. Like that, some bets were there. So all were there in the classroom, sitting and waiting for their result. At this time, Anne says that there are some dummies in the classroom. Okay, quarter of the class would be of dummies. What is meant by dummies by Anne? Dummies means some will be there who are not at all participating in any activities that is going on in the classroom. Also, they were lazy to give responses or to do any activities in the classroom. Okay, so she says that there are some dummies. What about you, my dear students? Are you dummies in the classroom? Don't be dummies in the classroom. Be smart and be active to do any activities at any time. Okay. Then she says that the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. Is it? Okay, here she says that no one has any idea who would be promoted or who will get the promotion or who will be demoted. Okay, so they don't have any idea. So she is telling that some dummies are there who should be kept back, but at the same time she is telling that we have no idea because the decision is of teacher. A teacher is the most unpredictable creature on the earth. Yes, it means according to Anne, the teacher's decision is unpredictable. Who is getting promotion? Who is kept back? It's really unbelievable and unpredictable. Our Anne was very sure about her past. She was very sure about her girlfriends too. Her relationship with mathematics and her maths teacher, Mr. Kissing, was not at all good in the beginning. So in this diary entry, let's see some funny activities that happen in her maths class. See, my students, she was pretty well with all other teachers. There were 9 teachers in total. Mr. Kissing was one among them. He taught her mathematics. Mr. Kissing was an old-fashioned person. He was very annoyed with Anne in his class. What's the reason? She was very talkative in his class. He gave her many warnings, but no way. She kept on talking. Sometimes the teachers are very naughty to separate this chatterbox from their team and honor that person by giving a seat in the front row. Do you remember those days? After doing that, the teacher will have a glorious face and resumes the class. But after some time, the teacher is defeated to see that the chatterbox has started his business there, his or her business there with the new team. The teacher would be smiling to herself when she is leaving the classroom after all this business. Okay, come back to Anne. What was she doing in her class? She was simply talking in the class. So this Mrs. Kissing, he was very annoyed to see her talking all the time in his class. She's getting irritated. When we were students, we used to talk in our classrooms. When we were children or when we were students, we used to talk in the class. But when we have come to the other side of the table, we can understand the feelings of a teacher. So here, Mr. Keesing was totally irritated and disturbed. So he decided to give an assignment. In a way, it's a punishment to Anne. What was the punishment? He asked her to write an essay on the topic chatterbox. Okay, here comes the question. What do you think about Mr. Keesing? What's your opinion about Mr. Keesing? Please write it in the comment box. Let me see. After finishing other homeworks, she decided to write this essay on chatterbox. She was thinking and thinking and thinking to write something on this topic, but she didn't get an idea. When you are asked to write an essay or to do any writing task, you may be either lazy or you don't have any idea to write it, or you won't get any points to write it. At the time, what are you doing? Simply writing something aimlessly without any points in big letters and leaving some space in between to fill the pages, right? Some of you are smiling thinking about this knowledge of, but our Anne put that thought away. She was just thinking, why can't I give a supportive argument to prove that necessity of talking? Yes, she got the idea. She decided to write something that supports the necessity of talking. 2 points are there. First of all, she argued that talking is the trait or the necessary or characteristic feature of a student. How can I control it? It's not possible. She said that she would do her best to control it. Second point is, even though she has tried to control this, his talking habit is not at all completely cured because she has got it from her mother. She inherited this habit, means straight from her mother. She said that it's really a genetic condition that she has inherited from her mother, who is talking as much as she did. So how can I control it? So it's not possible to stop it. I would do my best to control it. These were the 2 arguments that she has written in that essay. You keep this in mind because it's frequently asked in the exams as well. Mr. Keesing really amused her way of writing. A good laugh at her arguments. Okay, after writing the first essay on chatterbox, he didn't stop talking. She was talking and talking in his class. There he is losing his patience, so he gave another punishment, another assignment. This time the topic was incorrigible chatterbox. What's the meaning of incorrigible? Something that cannot be corrected. She was incorrigible at this time. She was talking and talking and talking. Then what happened? Again he has given this topic. Then she has written that essay also. She wrote the second essay simply and handwritten. Then again she started talking. She's writing the essay given to Mr. Keesing and started talking. Writing the essay given to Mr. Keesing and started talking. This process is going on. So at this time, Mr. Keesing lost patience. Here, at the third time, he gave another assignment. This time, the topic was quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. How funny the topic is. Here she planned to write something that had ingenuity. Ingenuity means inventiveness, okay? Inventiveness and originality and creativity. Then what did she do at this time? She decided to write a poem with the help of her friend's son. Okay, this friend was very good at writing poetry, so she decided to write a poetry. Let me ask, who is always quacking? Quack, quack, quack. We know ducklings quack, quack, quack. So she decided to write a poem. In that poem, she talks about some ducklings, a family of ducklings. She decided to write a poem, a funny satirical poem. Okay, in this poem, she talks about ducklings. What happened to the ducklings? 3 ducklings were there. they were beaten to death by Father Swan. What's the reason? Because they were always quacking, 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 quacking all the time. With that reason, they were beaten to death by Father Swan. Have you got the joke in that? Poor ducklings, they know nothing but to quack, quack, quack all the time. Is it a mistake? No, never. But what happened? They were beaten to death by Father Swan. This poem is really a prank on Mr. Keesing. Have you got it? Okay, she wrote the poem and gave it to Mr. Keesing. Mr. Keesing went through the poem. Thank God he took it the right way. He read the poem to the class. He burst out laughing. He took that poem to other classes. So after that third essay, our Anne was not at all disturbed in the class when she was talking in his class. Okay, the impact of the prank poem. Then after that, we can see a change in Mr. Keesing also. Mr. Keesing became one of those persons who joke often. Here comes an important question for you. This is the question. What was the topic of the third essay? Then what was the reaction of Mr. Keesing? I want you to write the answers in the comment box. Okay. Now let's go through some important points in the chapter. Writing in a diary is a strange experience for Anne Frank. She writes only to lighten the burden on her heart. She feels that paper has more patience than people. She wants to keep a diary as she doesn't have a friend. She wants the diary to be her true friend, and she is going to call this friend Kitty. She got her education in Amsterdam. She started writing her diary on 20 June 1942. She feels that a quarter of students are worthless and deserve to be kept back. The maths teacher, Mr. Keesing, is an old-fashioned teacher. He is annoyed with Anne as she talks too much in the class. He gives her extra homework to write an essay on a chatterbox. She writes that she has inherited the habit of talking from her mother. Mr. Keesing has a good laugh at her arguments and gives to her another essay on an incorrigible chatterbox. Mr. Keesing was trying to play a joke on Anne by giving such an essay. She finished the essay in verse with the help of her friend's son. Mr. Keesing reads the poem and the message in the right way. After that, he has allowed Anne to talk in class. Since then, a change has come in Keesing and he started making jokes. We have seen in the chapter that Anne was so lovable and so smart. She was so attracted to everyone with anyone she interacts with. She had a magic of love and beautiful conduct with which she attracts everyone to herself. Here we have seen a clear picture of Anne. Now let's see the character sketch of Anne Frank. These are the main matters that you must keep in mind. Okay, I have given you some questions and also some notes. Okay, so you just go through this video and the previous video, go through these videos and get the answers. Okay, now I am going to give you exam horse with which you can be a shining star in English exam. Let's go to the questions. Exam horse. Paper has more patience than people. Do you agree or disagree? Give reason. How did Anne want her diary to be different? Explain. Teachers are the most unpredictable creatures. Give a brief description of Anne Frank's family. How did Anne justify her habit of talking in her first essay on a chatterbox? So my dear students, just go through part 1 and 2 videos of this Anne Frank chapter and get ready to give me the answers in the comment box. Also, if you like this video, please click to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get more videos. Let's meet in the next English lesson. Thank you.